What's up guys, Will here bringing you a tutorial on how to do mandala art in Photoshop. Yes, I can do it, you guys can too. We're going to work on getting all these weird patterns and lines and shapes and stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's just move into Photoshop and get started. So first thing I want to show you guys is, I'll tell you about the best canvas settings. So you'll want the canvas to be square. I do 12 by 12 inches. And you want the pixel ratio, or resolution, whatever you want to call it, to be higher, in my opinion. It just makes the image quality better. Makes the image size way larger, however, so whatever your preference is, I do 320 pixels per square inch. So to get everything precise, everything we do nice and exact, we're going to go into Edit, Preferences. Doesn't really matter what you click under Preferences. I'll just go to General and go to Units and Rulers. Sorry, I mean Cursors. And you'll have painting cursors. You can just leave that because we don't paint at all. And you go to Other Cursors at the right. It should, Standard will probably be checked, but you want to check Precise, and that just makes it down to 1 pixel point in the center of a circle, so everything's nice and accurate. Hit OK. And for these compositions where I show you how to do the stuff, you'll notice these red lines going down the middle of the composition and horizontal through the middle of the composition. Those are the rulers. That's how we center the mandala around the entire composition. And to do those, you're going to do View at the top, New Guide, and to get them directly in the middle, instead of a measurement of distance, you're going to do 50%. And you'll have to do this for both horizontal and vertical. So I have horizontal selected right now, so I'll do that. Hit Enter. Go to View, New Guide, Vertical, or whatever the opposite of what you have selected is. 50%. Hit Enter. Oh, why didn't it come in? Sorry about that. Hold on. New Guide, Vertical, 50%. There we go. So now we got this down to the center, down to the T in the middle of the composition. And this will be where we center everything, obviously. So, without further ado, we'll move on to basic circles and rings. Pretty easy stuff. It's really fun. We'll start with a circle. What you'll want to do is you want to do the shape selection tool. It'll be elliptical marquee tool. Bring your cursor down to the center where the rulers meet. Click and hold. Hold Shift and Alt. And it keeps it dead center and the circle stays even. You can make it however big you feel need be. So we'll just do that. You'll want to select the new layer, so hold Control Shift N, or for Mac, Command Shift N. That makes a new layer, name it circle, whatever. Oh, caps lock is on. Hit Enter. And to just easily fill the circle, we're going to hold Control. Depending on if the color you want is the secondary or primary, you do Control or Alt, or Command on a Mac. Control Delete or Alt Delete. Since black is my primary, I'm going to do Alt Delete, and that fills in the circle. So we'll fill that. We're going to make a new layer, Control or Command Shift N, to do the ring. And we're going to use the ellipse tool again. This one's a little different because we're going to have to go into the layer settings. Control Shift Alt, not Control, sorry. We'll make it a little bigger than the circle. And we're going to fill it again with whichever color you please, primary or secondary. Double click on the layer, which I'm just gonna name it ring. Hold on. Double click the layer and go to Stroke. Select Stroke. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry about that. Go back to the original by pressing blending options default. We're going to go to the fill opacity here, make that 0, and that'll make it disappear. And then once you select stroke, you'll see this nice little ring, and you can make it whatever size you want, and you can choose its blend mode, kind of like you can blend layers with whatever layer effect. You can make it so that the line is inside, outside, or on the line of the selection that you made with the marquee tool. So we'll just do inside. We can make it however big we want. And there we go. You got a ring. So we'll just unselect that. Move on to the next composition. We got small lines and shapes. So we got these squares, circles, and these cool lines that we got here. For the shapes, it'll require the marquee tool, and for the lines, you'll want to use the pen tool. So we'll do the shapes first. We'll do the circle. When making mandala, the rulers are your best friend. No going around that. So I have a ruler right here showing where around the center I want the center of my shape to be. So I'll just do a circle. You can do this with circle or the square marquee tool. You can also use the pen tool to make an organic shape and make the selection whatever and fill it. But we're going to select the center here, Shift, Alt, and we're just going to make a small little circle. Control or Command Shift N for new layer. And we're going to fill it, so I'll do Alt, Delete. Just click anywhere to deselect. And this is a little tricky. This is where we duplicate the layer and make it like go around to the center in a full circle. So what we're going to want to do, do Command or Control, Alt, and T. So what this does, normally you just do Control T, that's transform. When you do Control Alt T and you change the layer in any way, shape, or form, it makes it a second layer and it leaves the original behind as a separate layer. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take the center. You'll see there's a little cross in the center, that's its rotation axis. We're going to take that and drag it at the center of the composition. Mine will be 6 inches by 6 inches. You'll want to get it as close as possible. Sometimes mice are a little more sensitive than others, so you can't quite get there. Alright, I'm there. And also you'll want a regular mouse, so if you're on a laptop, it's going to be a little difficult with your pad. So, after you have this new layer, what you're going to do, after you put the center rotation axis on the middle, you can either rotate it manually however much you want, or at the top here you have its XY axis, width and height, rotation, and some other measurements. I can't remember what they are. You want to do rotation, and since we're working with a circle, 360 degrees, you want the measurement to be some sort of interval that ends up being 360 degrees. So, sorry about that. What I'm going to do is 15 degrees, or actually 30, so that I can put squares in between them. 30 degrees, and that rotates it over 30 degrees. And then once we've done that, you can click on any tool and so that it applies the transform. Go to the new layer that was created when you did the rotation, hit Control or Command, Shift, and Alt, and you'll hit T. And what it does is it continues whatever transformation you made to it, and it makes a new layer and puts it there. So we're going to go all the way around until we get the 360 degrees of circles. Alright, so we got circles. Also, see how you have all these layers because of the duplication process. Best thing to do would be to merge them all. So you highlight them all. You can do select one, hold shift, go down to the first one. It'll select all of them. Right click, and near the bottom you can see merge layers. Don't do merge visible, that will merge everything to the background, which you don't want. So we'll merge those, label them circles too, since I have a file already like that, circles. And so we'll do lines next. The square with the marquee tool, exact same thing. Same process, just a different shape. So we'll do lines. Lines are easier. Just bring out the pen tool. And when you use the pen tool, it'll already have a corner on the center, so the rotation process is a lot easier. So to use the pen tool, we're going to do the stroke process. So you want to go to your brush, go to its settings, make sure the hardness is at 100%. The size can vary. I do 3, you can do 1, but you can barely see it, and 6 is probably a maximum that I would go with. Once it gets thicker, it just looks weird. So I already have my settings all set, so we'll just go to the pen tool. We'll start at the center of the image, or the canvas. Maybe do a fancy curve, and this can be whatever you want. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And we're just going to curve it out outside of the image. So after that, we're going to right-click, stroke path. Oh, one sec, what's going on? Oh, sorry about that. We want to make a new layer. Sorry about that. Control or Command Shift N, enter, or you can name it. I'll just name it line. Line. So once you have a new layer and a layer selected that's visible, sorry about that, you go right-click, stroke path, which is the 10th or 11th one down. Make sure the tool is selected to brush. You can do simulate pressure or not. It doesn't really make a huge difference. Hit enter or OK, and a line will appear, and then you just hit enter again, and it deletes the path, and you got a line. Wowee, look at that. So we're going to do the same process as we did with the circles to get that nice pattern around the image. We're going to do Control Alt, and instead of clicking and dragging it to the center, we don't have to. At the top left of your screen, right to the left of where it shows the x-axis, you can select at which transforming point you want the rotation to be. So I'll just select the bottom left so that it's already at the center, and we will rotate it. This is where the layers can get really intense and the program can lag depending on how much the rotation you do. If you do 1, let's do the math here, you got 360 lines. It's going to take you a little bit, and if you try to do it really fast, the program will lag, but it will catch up. It won't freeze on you, hopefully. So I think to save time, we'll do 10. Rotation 10, enter, hit a tool of some sort, apply, and we're going to go to it, Control or Command, Shift, Alt, T. And you just keep tapping the T. I don't know if I didn't mention that earlier. Keep tapping T while you're holding the other buttons all the way around. Since we did intervals of 5, we have a total of 35 layers. 35 times 5, 360. So I'm going to select all those, merge them, merge, just making sure not taking too long, 13 minutes, oh boy. And alright, back to Photoshop, sorry about that. Lines, we just merged them, gonna name it lines 2. And you'll notice that I didn't have it all the way around the image, so if you want to cut them at any point in time to a circle, you just use your circle marquee tool, or elliptical marquee tool, go to the middle, Shift Alt, wherever you want the lines to end, you can just end it there. You're going to right click the selection, select inverse, and you can use your eraser to erase everything around the image. So we got our squares and circles and lines and stuff. And now we can move on to the final mandala, which I'm just going to speed up the process of me making, and hopefully we'll have a decent final product. So yeah.